Hello everybody and welcome back to Sang-Froid Tales of Werewolves. We are now on chapter 19. So let's go ahead and get this started, see a little bit of storyline, and then we'll get into a pretty fun mission. Chapter 19, Forgiveness and Redemption.
But what are you doing here with your brother, my friend? They're planning to have you murdered in the middle of the street.
I know how dangerous it was bringing him here, sister. But my brother needs your help. I've got a feeling there's something supernatural about his wounds. Could you investigate?
His bodily wounds are serious, but I believe, although I'm not a doctor, that he'll recover. The problem, I'm afraid, is that your brother is suffering from a spiritual ailment even more serious than his physical wounds. Even though his body is still with us, his soul has gone werewolf.
Joseph condemned to go werewolf like the others in the village? I gotta save him. I read somewhere there's a way. What do you think?
That we would be crazy not to try. What you have to do first is catch your brother's werewolf alive in a trap and throw this vial of holy water in his face. Then you have to beseech his soul to leave the beast and return to his human body for good.
Sounds pretty complicated. Could you keep Joseph with you until he regains his strength? With Josephine at home, it's too much for me.
I'll do my best, but I have to tell you, neither you nor your brother are safe here.
Okay, so as you guys can see, we have to save Joe, aka Joseph, and surprisingly, this mission is not too difficult. So let's go ahead and look at what we got coming at us. We have 4 werewolves heading to the mill, 2 grand werewolves heading to the mill, and 3 will-o-wisps heading towards the mill also. For wave 2, we've got 6 werewolves heading towards the mill, and 4 will-o-wisps heading for our cabin. Wave 3, we have 2 wendigos heading for the church, 1 heading to the hermit's place. Wave 4, we have 2 werewolves and another 2 werewolves all heading towards the mill. And wave 5, we have 2 grand werewolves, one of which is our brother, whom we will have to save. So, surprisingly, like I said, this mission actually isn't that difficult. And here's why. We are going to use mortars extensively. So, we've got our 2 grand werewolves, 4 regular werewolves. First thing we're going to do, plop a bait right here. Plop a mortar right here. And aimed right there. And that's how we're going to take care of those first guys, and then we'll just kill these will-o-wisps with our axe. Which, by the way, we want to make sure we actually equip our blessed axe. Get to use our cool double axe here. We also want to equip our water. So I'm kind of going out of order here, but let's go ahead and get our skills. I want to go with Second Wind 3 and Bloodthirst 3, which is going to keep us up and running, especially when we're killing those will-o-wisps. It gives us a lot of bonus HP and stamina. Okay, let's set up the rest of our traps. Wave 2, 6 werewolves, and as you probably guessed, we're going to be using our mortar on those guys. I'm going to go ahead and put the bait a little farther down, so that way our mortar blast doesn't destroy it. So let's go ahead and do that, and then those 4 will-o-wisps we'll again take out with our axe. Wave 3, you guessed it, mortars. So what we do, I'm going to put a bait here, and also a bait here, and I'm going to go ahead and wall this off, so that way this guy will head over here, these guys will eat this, and then they'll all kind of connect here. And because a mortar won't kill these guys outright, I'm actually going to place a spike trap here, and so they'll get spiked, and then we'll mortar them for a double whammy basically. Alright, wave 4 is pretty much the same thing we have been doing. We are going to place a bait right here, and we are going to place... Oh, it would help if for wave 3 I actually targeted this mortar up here. There we go. And then we are going to go ahead and place another mortar. So we're basically just going to have a line of mortars here and aim it right here And we're actually going to place 2 baits on this one because those other werewolves like to go slow. These ones that start down here, they like to spawn later. So what we'll do is we'll place 1 right there and 1 right there, just for good measure. And then wave 5, the only thing we're going to place is a wolf trap, and that is so that we can trap Joe and use the holy water on him. Okay, real quick, I'm going to go ahead and go to the town, and I'm going to buy a caribou so we can have damage plus against the other grand werewolf who isn't Joe, so that we can take him out relatively quickly. So let's go ahead and equip that. It's already in there. Good. Chop down some trees, and let's get the night started. Okay, so here we go. We got our nice little mortar line here. And if you put them in order like this, you know exactly that this is for wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So we are actually going to do the mortar first, because the will-o-wisp will not get to us before we can use it. So I'm just going to go ahead and wait so we can see the mini-map. Alright, let's go ahead and hop in there. As soon as these 2 upper left ones get closer, there we go, let's shoot that. The will-o-wisps are here. They actually did hit us, but it's not a big deal. Take them out with pretty much relative ease. One of them did actually hide, which is totally fine. Not a big deal. This axe just rips them apart, basically. Okay, wave 2 is essentially going to be the same thing. I will just wait so that we can see our mini-map. I really hope that when they do an update on this game that you'll be able to see your mini-map while you're zoomed in on a mortar. I don't know if that's intentional or just something that they didn't think all the way through. Could be intentional, but I strongly dislike that feature. So let's go ahead and, as soon as they all get pretty close, go ahead and fire it. Oh, and boy is that satisfying. Okay, let's go ahead and take these guys out. Dodge that first attack, and from there it should be pretty smooth sailing. There we go. Take them all out. Okay. Wave 3. Now this one's a little bit trickier because you can't really see very well as soon as those trees pop in there. But you can kind of see, and the spike trap will basically tell you when you need to fire. So we will hang on a sec, and when we hear that spike trap is when we will fire. So there's 2 on there. The other one should be close. Boom, there we go. Let's fire. And that should take them all out. Okay, now we've got our 4 werewolves over here, which once again we'll just take out with a mortar. I was kind of surprised by the fact that a mortar is good for every single wave in this mission. Not complaining, I like the explosions, but definitely wasn't as tactical as the previous missions were. So we'll go ahead and wait for all of them to get there, since we placed those 2 baits. There we go. Go ahead and fire that bad boy. Boom. Alright, the final wave. Make sure you have your glasses, your magic glasses equipped. I have them in slot number 4. And that's going to help us see where Joe is. So let's go ahead and run up here. They do have an actual little time limit on them, so let's go ahead and do this. I believe he is the back one. Yes, he is. So let's get our caribou, and we'll try not to hurt him too much. He probably will take a little bit of damage. As long as we don't kill him, though, should be good. Okay, now let's head over here to this trap and get over here and holy water. There we go.
Come on, Joe. If you leave this beast, I promise you will drink that bottle of whiskey the father brought back from Ireland. You know the one he left when he died? You know the one that I always forbidden you to touch? Okay, this is gonna be harder than I thought. Listen, Joe, I'm asking you for forgiveness. I know I haven't always done right by you, but this last while, I've realized that when it comes right down to it, everything you did was for Josephine. Maybe you're a little rough around the edges, brother, but your heart's in the right place, and I know that now.
Alright, so we just rescued Joe, and that is going to be the end of chapter 19. So, mortars, mortars, mortars is the moral of this story. When I see you again, we will be on chapter 20, the final chapter of Sang-Froid. As always, my name is Selyp, and I will see you again soon. Thank you for watching.